Okay, tonight, finally about to watch Upgrade. I think this is the first DVD, or Blu-ray I guess I should say, that I own physically from this list of movies. We are about to watch Upgrade. In my words, this is a mix of Hardcore Henry, kind of fused with our Tom Hardy lookalike friend here. What is his name? Like Logan Michael Green or something? Logan Marshall Green. I was close. Okay, anyways. So yeah, about to pop in Upgrade. I have zero expectations for this. I've heard good things, but it's also Blumhouse, and we are not a fan of Blumhouse around here. I mean, Blumhouse honestly is hit and miss. It's just like they're such a cash cow that that's why it's hit and miss, you know? And they always put their best works of like film and movies on the cover to, like, you know, get more views. I get it, clickbait, but you know, it's annoying. So let's watch Upgrade. So you guys know I usually show you the DVD itself. This one has nothing on it, so that is extremely anticlimactic.
OTL Releasing presents a BH production and Goalpost Pictures production.
Oh, what? Is this self-aware?
In association with Automatic Entertainment, Nervous Tick, and Film Victoria. Upgrade.
What? I 100% forgot Leigh Whannell did this. That's why it was so good. This was actually really good. It was really surprising, and although some parts felt a little predictable, I will talk more about that. It was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed this one. It was gory. It was really cool. You guys probably know by now I have a thing for head smashing. Why are we not focusing? Is it the ghost again? Anyways, I'll get more into this when my camera will focus.
We're going to finish the job we started.
Alright, let's talk about Upgrade. I wanted to start off with Upgrade because I know that body horror spans a bunch of different, I guess, subgenres within the body horror genre itself. This has quite a few moments that kind of make you go ugh, and cringe, and I really enjoyed this one. So let's talk more about Upgrade, a 2018 action sci-fi. I would more or less call it a little bit of a horror. It's not really much of a horror, but the graphic nature of it, I guess, would make it a horror in my opinion. But this was directed by Leigh Whannell, who is incredible, one of my favorite directors. Honestly, he just has such a creative mind for horror. And while this is a Blumhouse film, I think he did a great job with it. We're not really Blumhouse fans around here. I mean, Blumhouse hit and miss for me, that's another topic for another day. Let's start off talking about things that I liked about Upgrade. This movie was engaging all the way through from start to finish. Even though some aspects were a little cheesy, it still was a very engaging movie and had a really good mix of comedy and other genres. And when I say comedy, I mean like there was like a dry kind of like a dark sense of humor kind of threaded throughout. I like things like that. Upgrade kind of felt like a sister film to Hardcore Henry. If you've seen Hardcore Henry, I really enjoyed that one as well. But it was genuinely funny, heartfelt in some points, and full of action and gore, and I really enjoyed it. This to me was a really good mix of body horror, tech horror, and like a shoot 'em up kind of thing, because there was like actual handguns. This was also kind of a revenge story turned AI takeover, if you will. And I guess I would say that it was a good mixture of both. This started off kind of like human versus human, but then finished with human like surrendering to AI. The futuristic setting, like it was set in a distant future, but it didn't feel too distant or too disconnected. The distant setting felt far enough away, but close enough that like we could have spy drones watching us. We probably do. And suddenly, like in the beginning, like when you're first introduced to STEM and you see like the memorable kitchen fight that I'm pretty sure like everybody's seen from the trailer and like the main clips of the movie, you kind of like root for STEM because he's kind of likable, and STEM being the AI system. Wow. STEM being the AI system that we are introduced to. But then by the end of the movie, you're kind of horrified and like you don't want any part of that. Alright, let's quickly talk about a couple of things I disliked about the movie. There wasn't much because I actually enjoyed this overall. But there was an NPC, like it just kind of felt like you were an NPC character, the effect that was used in a couple of scenes. I don't know, it was kind of disconnecting, I guess, disorienting, I don't know. I didn't like that effect at all. I don't like weird sketchy effects like that in movies. It wasn't overused, but like when I think that it was used so minimally that it just stuck out in a bad way. But also a few characters just felt a little bit overacted, and I feel like if they would have toned it down just a little bit, it would have felt a little more natural. Leigh Whannell, I would say, like, is definitely even though he's made a ton of movies and a ton of notable movies that we all know, I still think he's a director to watch out for, and I think he probably has a lot of things under his belt that we should be on the watch for. Like, just looking at his IMDb right now, they're making Upgrade into a TV series, so cool. What do we think? Logan Marshall Green was actually amazing in this. I really liked his character in this movie, and the only other movie that I remember him being in is The Invitation. Let me just like Google him really quick to see if I remember him from anything else. Oh yeah, he was in Devil! I just rewatched Devil a couple of months ago. I remember him being in that. I remember saying to myself, oh, it's knock off Tom Hardy. And he was in The OC. He's also in a movie that I have on my radar called How It Ends, coming out this year. If it's not already out already, I'm gonna have to double check on that, but I know he's in that, so pretty cool. Good for him. Anyways, let's talk about rating. For Body Horror Month, I'm going to rate things a little differently, like I've mentioned. For originality, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Even though I compared this to Hardcore Henry was like fully POV, and I think this was a really fun and fresh concept. For gross factor, a few scenes were definitely quite visceral, and I did cringe and feel quite gross, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a 7.5 out of 10. Because like the body horror and the gore was not the main focus of this movie. I mean, it definitely added a lot to the story. For scares, I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10 because it wasn't your traditional horror, but it preyed on different kinds of fears, like obscure fears, I guess. Like those spy drones. I don't ever want a spy drone watching me, okay? Thank you. Leave me alone. I don't have curtains. I don't need that. Overall, this was a fun futuristic kind of action sci-fi body horror with a really cool premise. My average works out to be a 7 out of 10, but I liked this movie so much that I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought about Upgrade. Let me know if you're excited for tomorrow's video, which is about the beach house. You can find that movie over on Shudder. I will see you soon. Sayonara, Spook Fam.